Loneliness is often God's way of letting us know it is time to reach out. Reach out to the cross. And you'll never be lonely again. A couple of weeks ago, I received a letter which said, quote, "About a month ago, my wife and I separated. She moved out of our house saying that she could not stand to be around me anymore. We'd gotten to a point where we could not communicate with each other anymore. We were throwing accusations, some founded and some not, and bitter, spiteful words at each other. So she moved out and went to live with another man until she could get an apartment of her own. On June the 8th this year, I had come home from work, and after dinner I felt a compulsion to turn on the tube. I attribute it to the loneliness and frustration I was feeling. Sometimes the tube can be an excellent fire escape for a short while, but it's not a good fire extinguisher," he said. Anyway, I turned the set on and randomly flipped the dial. The station I had chosen was just announcing the beginning of the Billy Graham Crusade from South Carolina. I don't mind telling you, I was more than a little skeptical about televised religious programs, but I continued to watch. At the end of your sermon, which I felt was directed at me and my situation, when you called those people who wanted to change the direction of their lives to come forward and receive Christ as their Savior, I hesitated, but then I did. At this time, my wife and I are starting to put things back on track. Another one. Last night, I preached on John 3:16, and the people here said it all together. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. And last night, more than 1,700 people came and made their commitment to Christ. A few weeks ago, A few weeks ago in one of our crusades, a man looked at that same verse, and the counselor told him, "You can put your name in that verse. You are the whosoever. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever," put your name there, "whosoever believeth or commit his life to him will never perish but have everlasting life." And then he had a grin on his face and he said, "I like that. You can put your name tonight in that same way as all of those did last night. God so loved the world for you that he gave his Son." And you put your name and say, "Lord, I open my heart and my life to you. I commit myself to you." For some of you, it may be that you're going to recommit your life. For others, you're going to make a brand new start. You want to be sure how you stand before God tonight. I'm going to ask you to do what we saw those people do last night, and we've seen people in every continent of the world do. And more than 70 countries we've seen people do what I'm asking you to do. I'm going to ask you to get up out of your seat, hundreds of you, and say tonight, "I want to serve Christ, I want to follow Christ, I want to receive Christ. I want to come to the cross. I want to put my confidence and my trust in him. I want my sins forgiven. I want to know I'm going to heaven. I want to be sure that Christ lives in my heart." And after you've all come, I'm going to say a word to you and have a prayer with you. You say, "Well, Billy, why do you ask people to come forward publicly?" Because Jesus, every person Jesus called, he called publicly. And he said, "If you're not willing to acknowledge me before men, I'll not acknowledge you before my Father which is in heaven." There's something about coming forward publicly and taking a stand in public that makes it count. I'm going to ask you, if you come from that gallery up on top, it's going to take you 2 or 3 minutes, so start now. And I'm going to ask that no one leave the stadium, please. This is the holy moment. And God is speaking to you wherever you are. And if you're with friends or relatives, they'll wait on you. If you've come in a bus, they'll wait on you. And after you've all come, I'll say a word to you, have a prayer with you, give you some literature to help you in your Christian life. Or you can bring your friend with you, but just get up and come quickly. Hundreds of you. Back over here, over there, upstairs. You may be in the choir and God has spoken to you even though you're in the choir. You may be a Sunday school teacher. You may be a leader in your church, but God has spoken to you about your need of Christ. You get up and come. Over here on the ends, everywhere, quickly.